Step one is an online application form. It's really neat because everything is online. You don't have to send in any paper, you don't have to mail anything, no stamps. You go and you open up an account just like if you were at Amazon. It takes maybe 20-25 minutes. You can upload things to it if you are ready. For instance, a resume and a statement of purpose that we'll talk about in a second. But you don't have to, and I'll talk about that in a minute. You can upload letters of reference, which the application form will ask you for, but they are not required by the MBA program. We do accept them, and we will look at them if you send them, but they're not required. So whether or not you send them in is up to you. Step two is to give us a resume, a professional resume that gives us your work experience, your educational experience, so we can get a sense of what your background is like. Step three is what we call a statement of purpose. Many schools might call it an admissions essay. We like the idea of a statement of purpose because we want you to have a purpose. We believe that purpose is motivating. When you have a purpose and you've clearly defined it, that can motivate you to complete the MBA program. And it's a rigorous program, it's difficult, so it's important that you give us a sense of what your purpose is about. Now, on our website, there are guidelines to writing the statement of purpose. Essentially, it is what we call a gap analysis. What we'd like to know is, where are you now? Where would you like to go? And how is the MBA program going to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you'd like to go? It's that simple, but it helps us get to know you in a little bit deeper way than perhaps a resume or an application form can. The GMAT exam is a 4-hour computer-based exam, and in another video I'll go into more detail about what you want to do with it. But right now I want to just go over the big ideas. There's 3 sections: a verbal section, a quantitative analysis section, and an analytical writing section. And you want to take this seriously, you want to prepare for this the best you can. It takes people anywhere 2 to 6 weeks to study for it. Our average as a program is a 580 to 600 on the GMAT. Step 5 is to submit your transcripts. This is only if you're from another school than Western Washington University. If you're from Western Washington University, we obviously already have your transcripts, and so you don't need to worry about it. We also will be looking at your GPA. We have a minimum 3.0 GPA requirement, and so that's how we look at that over your last 2 years in your undergraduate degree. If you are at a semester school, that's your last 60 credits. If you are at a quarter school, that's your last 90 credits. And so we actually calculate your GPA over your last 2 years to make sure you're 3.0 or above. Now, if you're below 3.0, we do have a probational admissions process that you can go through. It is more competitive than the regular admissions process, but if you're interested in finding more out about that, you can contact us by email. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate your time, and feel free to reach out to me. You can see here my email address. It's going to be easy to find on this info session. Reach out to me and send me a message if you're thinking about the MBA program at Western, or if perhaps you're just thinking about an MBA program and you're not sure Western is the right place. I'm happy to talk to you about whatever issues you have, whatever questions you have. I want to make sure, number one, that if you're interested in Western, that you understand what you need to do to be competitive, what you need to do to have a smooth admissions process. If you're not sure that Western is right, well, let's talk about that. We'll talk about the culture of the program. If you want to come and visit, we can arrange that. And if you're not even sure an MBA is right for you, we can pro and con that as well. We can talk about timing, we can talk about the right fit for a school, we can talk about cost and all the things that go into trying to decide whether an MBA is right for you. It's not an easy decision. It's a big decision, kind of like deciding to buy a house. Between what it costs to do the MBA and what you give up in terms of salary and all of your free time and everything else, it's a big commitment. And so what we want to make sure is that you feel well armed to make the right decision. You have all the knowledge you need so that you can make the right decision for you. That's why we're here. So give me a holler and we'll talk about it. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.